And saving some of the best for last, including offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick of BYU football, who is back with us in studio. Coach, thanks for hanging out on Media Day.
Great to be here.
You have had some big changes in your life recently, including a new baby boy now. So how is the work-life balance right now for you?
It's been good. Kalani's pretty great to work for, so it's been great. Yeah, but the 3-month-old is at my age has been a challenge for sure. It's been fun.
What's more challenging, that or navigating who the starting quarterback will be this week?
Yeah, the quarterback thing.
Okay.
I've lost more sleep over the quarterback than I have from
the
baby.
Sure.
Okay, so is it a stressful experience here? And at the end of the day, is it going to be, obviously it's this, like, Kalani's the boss, but you're the OC. Like, how will that decision-making process go down?
Well, all you involve the offensive staff in that decision. I've got Fessy, who's been a coordinator before. Steve Clark's been a coordinator before. Daryl Funk's been a coordinator before. We'll all be involved in coming up with who we think the best option is, and then we'll run it by Kalani and see if he's good with it. Kalani's always chiming in on, after practices and stuff, and even during practices he'll have his input. So it'll be a collective decision, and ultimately, though, it'll come down to Kalani and I.
Okay, so you're going to get overloaded with the question of who's going to be the starting quarterback. We're not going to go there.
We're not going to go there. We have a better question.
Yes. Yeah. We just want you to tell us who your second and third string quarterbacks
are. Man, I wish I could answer it. I really do. But seriously, I do take this responsibility very seriously. I feel an obligation, first of all, to our team, to our fans, to make the best decision I can, and I feel a great obligation to our quarterbacks. I mean, I love those guys. They work so hard. They're great guys, and I want to do right by them. I want to make it fair and give everybody a great chance. But there's a great chance we're going to need more than one of them to get through this schedule. It's just the way it is in college football now. I mean, there's about 20 teams a year out of 130 that make it through 12 games with one guy.
Wild.
That's a real thing. So either due to injury or sometimes a guy struggles, but whatever. But not very often nowadays do you get through 12 games with one player. And so everybody's got to be professional about it and just do their best and then work our way through it.
BYU was one of those 20 last year, which was really special with Zach, and 2013 with Taysom Hill. That's the only 2 in the last 10 years for BYU, injuries or ineptitude. We've talked about. So in this decision-making process, if someone had emerged and stuck out, would you have named them already?
Yeah, of course.
But all 3 were good.
Yeah, and if somebody does that in the first couple weeks of fall camp, and they're clearly, undoubtedly the guy, then we'll say so. If it remains close, like I think it will, we'll make the best decision we can, and we might not say anything until kickoff of Arizona.
Okay.
I mean, there's a chance it could come to that. Not that, I mean, the team would know earlier than that, obviously, but we might not say anything publicly because
strategically.
Why would we? If we can hang on to any tiny little advantage to win that first game, we might as well. And so I don't want anybody to be mad at me if that's what we do. But if someone's clearly the guy and they've established themselves early on, then good chance we'll just say who it is.
We spoke with all 3 quarterbacks together roughly 40 minutes ago to open up hour number 2 of this BYU Sports Nation special, and it's clear they're all very mature. Yeah. So that's our perspective. From your offensive coordinator perspective, why do you feel like all 3 of them will be able to handle whatever the news is whenever it comes?
Because of that maturity, really. I mean, these guys are very professional. I think also, in the case of Baylor and Jaron, they've been through enough here to know the burden that the starting quarterback carries. I mean, there's a high expectation at this place. I mean, the quarterback gets a lot of scrutiny. It wasn't that long ago that there was a lot of criticism of Zach Wilson, right? I mean, that was not very long ago. Baylor knows what that feels like. Jaron knows what that feels like. They watched Zach go through it. They've experienced some of it themselves. They've battled through injuries. So those guys know it's a long season and it's a long career. And I think we talk about that a lot, that there's still a lot of football left for all those guys. You got 2 sophomores and a freshman. So I think if they can just keep a long-term perspective here, no matter who plays against Arizona, there's still a great opportunity for all three of them to have a good career at BYU.
And we're talking about the starter as if it's the whole season, but actually it's for Arizona. And then you see where you're at after that, right? Especially because you have three good ones?
Yeah, and I've never been a guy who has a quick hook. I mean, I think you deserve the right to play through some mistakes. I don't think it's good to be looking over your shoulder or feeling like you're going to get yanked any second. So whoever starts, I'll stick with them and play them for a bit. But we're not a the starting job is something you got to earn. You got to earn the right to keep that job every week. You don't just get named the starter and then you play 12 games automatically. You got to keep playing well to earn it. And but I definitely believe those guys can do it.
And you had experience at BYU yourself. Correct me if I'm wrong, with Roderick and Drew Miller and some of that, right? So you've seen that dance, of course, at Utah and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened so many times in the last 22 years I've been coaching, and in the years I was a player, and you see it play out all over college football and the NFL. It's a production-oriented business, and you got to take care of the ball, move the team, and score touchdowns. That's the job.
Aaron Roderick, BYU offensive coordinator, with us on BYU Sports Nation. Let's now talk about how your position has changed with the departure of Jeff Grimes to Baylor. Now I don't know if you feel liberated more or what your mindset is like, but let's walk through that. How do you feel as the offensive coordinator, being the guy that now moves all of those chips?
Well, it hasn't changed as much as you might think, because we had 6 coaches on offense. So we all had our positions, and then Grimey was sort of roaming. You know, he worked a lot with the offensive line, but he might go over and be involved with running backs or tight ends or even quarterbacks. And so we all had our responsibilities delegated among us, and then Grimey was the roamer. He was the extra guy. And he did a great job delegating. He did a great job leading the charge. He did a great job establishing a culture of toughness in our offense. But with his departure, our responsibilities all just stay the same. You know, Fessy still does what he does. Coach Clark does what he does, and we're coaching the same position groups. We've got the same weekly responsibilities. Really didn't change anything, and I don't see our offense changing a lot. And so, in a way, I feel like it's kind of the same job, and I hope that the other guys feel that way too, because I think we're in a good groove, and we've got a good thing going, and I think the worst thing I could do is mess with that and try to change it up too much.
And it's been a build here. You've talked about this publicly and privately about, hey, it's taken a few years to do this. You get Zach Wilson in 2018, and Brady Christensen is starting at left tackle, and then in year 3, bang, something happened, right? Do you feel like you can build off of that last year? Because normally you would look and go, oh, you lost a first-team All-American left tackle and the number 2 pick. That offense is going to struggle. Yet, we look at those experienced quarterbacks coming back, the good backups on the O-line filling in. The receivers got better with the Nakuas despite the loss of Dax Milne. Dallin Holker comes back. Yeah. I'm stoked about the offense this year.
Yeah, me too. I don't think of it about in terms of who we lost. I look at who's on that depth chart, who's coming back, and how many of those guys have played a lot of football games for us. I mean, you know, we're going to move Blake Freeland over to left tackle. Blake Freeland's played a lot of football already, a lot, and he's 6'9" and really good. So I hate to lose Brady, but I'm glad that that's the guy taking his place. You know, he's played a lot of football. Same with Harris LaChance at right tackle. I mean, he's started a lot of games here and played in a lot of games. So we have good players taking their places. You know, you hate to lose a great player like Dax Milne, but, you know, we add Puka and Sampson. And I think Neil Pa'u is the most underrated player in this whole program. I mean, that guy was a really good player for us last year. He was very underrated, does so many things so well. So I just look at how many returning players we have that have played a lot of ball, and Dallin being another one that you add to the mix. So I don't think about who's not here. I think about who we have, and there's a lot of experience there.
How do you feel like you've grown the most as a play caller over your 3 now plus years at BYU specifically?
Well, it really starts with we have program-wide thing that we're going to be aggressive and attack downfield, and we want to be an aggressive offense that, you know, I don't ever hear anything from Kalani except go, like let's score. Like, he's not one to. He's, you know, it's funny, he's been a defensive coach most of his career, but he's still an offensive guy in his heart. He played offense. His first couple coaching jobs were offense. And so people think of him as a defensive guy, but in his heart of hearts, he wants to have an explosive offense. He wants to score. And so it sort of starts there, I think. And then that's really the biggest thing. And then there's been a history of good offense here, and so you feel an obligation to live up to that, and I think everybody does, and so that's a fun challenge.
Are stats still for losers?
Yes.
Stats are for losers.
Stats, you know, I do think that. I think a lot of the stats that get focused on are not the ones that lead to winning, and so, you know, how many yards you pass for is not a great stat.
Yeah.
You know, but how many yards per pass attempt?
That one matters.
That's the stat.
That's when it matters.
We need to have you lay out a chart. We need the Aaron Roderick qualified stats chart.
Synergy. Yeah.
There are some, you know.
I didn't quite get that. You can also try spelling it.
Siri wants to get involved,
Siri
apparently.
wants to get involved.
She wants the offensive stats as well.
And Aaron, we've got to bounce, but our next conversation will be about the stats that matter.
Okay.
Because stats are for losers. And I'm a loser. Okay, coming up, today's Rise and Shadow.
Thanks, Aaron.